high school, and then you could be done. College was not, it was not for me. Then you have a guy like Josh Cartwright, who joins us on Race Day Live, finishes high school and says, you know what, I'm going to race, but I'm going to keep my school going. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's going really well. I have a good program going. FSU is in Tallahassee, and there's a couple training facilities right there. We went there in 2012 to GPF, and I trained there for about a summer, and we noticed FSU was right there. And I've always loved FSU. My dad knows the basketball coach. He's the basketball coach there. So now that I'm there, I'm actually at Ricky Carmichael's now. I partnered with him about 2 years ago. He's a great guy. He helped me progress there in Supercross, and now I can go to class in the morning, train during the day, and go back to class at night, get my homework done at night, and then sometimes I can work on my bike when I have time.
How do you? Yeah, a lot of at Florida State, a lot of the fellow students know that you ride Supercross and you're a professional Supercross rider.
Yeah, there's a couple. I have a few friends there that know that I'm there, and I've had a couple people come up to me and they like Supercross, so they've seen me on TV a couple times, but not many because it's not really big there. But some people have come up, but it's helped a little bit, coming seeing friends and everything. But I try to keep to myself there, just so I don't get too unfocused, and I can focus on my studies there and then go ride.
How do you balance the two? I mean, it takes so much focus to be in Supercross and have success, which you're having this year, but then you also have the pressures of being in school, and obviously you're a motivated kid, you want to do good there too. How do you balance the two?
I've always been good at that. I've done it my whole life in high school, so when I went to college, I was just keep it rolling. I like being busy. I don't like just sitting on the couch and doing nothing, so I was able to just go to class. My first ever semester was a little tough. I had to get used to it, get what I could do, and now I just have a set schedule to where, all right, go do this, and we're good to go.
Someone else that you have an opportunity to train with down there, Gannon Audette. Gannon's had some podiums last year and stuff like that. Is he a good training partner for you?
Oh, he's an amazing training partner. He's a good friend of mine. There's a couple people down there that's awesome. Yeah, me and Gannon live about 2 miles away from each other, so we ride to the track sometimes together, sometimes to the airport to come to the races. They push me because I have him, Gavin Faith, Chase Owen, and Joey Savacci all to ride with, and they're all unbelievable riders to ride with because it just helps me push to that next level and get to that level I'm there at, and hopefully I can get to where they are.
Well, how did we push you up into that top 10? Because I know last weekend, Dan and I, we looked down to 17th. Not bad getting it into the main event, but how do you get up into that top 10, and what do you have to work on?
I just got to get, I've been pretty good in starts in the heat races, and I got to get that start in the main event. Last weekend was a little bad luck. I got in that big pile up in the second section, and by the time I got my bike cranked, I was already a lap down. So I had to lap everyone and then come back to 17th, but a couple people fell, so they got a little lucky for there, but I just got to get a good start in that main event to keep my intensity up and able to push through the whole entire 15 minutes.
Well, let's talk about Detroit. You've had your free practice. You've also had your first qualifying session that counts. What is it about this track that you think can suit you tonight? Like you said, you've been getting good starts. When you get on track, what's going to help you accomplish those goals?
I've always loved whoops, and there's 2 sets of whoops here. They're pretty challenging. They're not too big, but they're a little bit cupped out. And the one that's set is really long, and I always loved that. I did arena cross a couple years back with you, and we always were battling for that one spot, and we always go through the whoops. And yeah, so that's what's going to help me this weekend. Hopefully I can get a good start and able to push into that top 10.
Are you looking forward to, when you're in that main event, I know you got 15 minutes plus 1 lap, when you're out there in qualifying, you lay down a good qualifying session, do you say, hey, look, I'm going to try some different lines because I think that the track might be going away and this line might work? Do you find yourself trying different lines?
Yeah, especially with the sand section here, it's really tricky, so you want to hit that inside, the outside. There's a rhythm section here, you can either go on, off, double, double, or you can go over the table and then triple, and I got to get that triple down. I'm definitely going to hit this next lap, and it's hopefully going to get my time a little bit down. Here's the sand section.
It looks good now.
It looks awesome right now, but that's when a lot of riders get on it. It gets really tricky. First practice, you hit it and it just stops right when you hit it. So you got to keep your momentum going good and hopefully just not crashing.
Now, how difficult is it when you're trying to put down a fast lap in qualifying, you come to the sand section, there's a guy down? I mean, how do you keep your composure in a situation like that when you're trying to put down a fast lap and guys, yellow flags are coming out, they're in your way, they're roosting you sand. You're trying to just cut down as much time as you can. How do you keep your composure when things like that happen?
You just got to keep looking ahead and see where those riders are. So if there's a yellow flag, you kind of got to see where they are so they can change your line and just keep your movement around them. Because a lot of people do go down, a couple riders don't get out of the way. If they're on a slow lap, they just putt through the main line, so you got to change your line. And it helps because in the race, you're not going to have a clear track. So it helps you in the race as in the practice.
Well, that was going to be my next question. I mean, it actually benefits you in the race because not all the time someone's going to be ahead of you and you see them go down. You got to get around them to make that other line work for you.
Exactly. So like in practice, a lot of people get mad when you're in the way. Like, look, in the race, we're not going to get out of your way. It's one-on-one, and you got to do what you got to do.
Do you pay attention to the 450 A riders out there and where they're going on the track? I know you're on a 250, they're on a 450. Things work a little bit different, but you were talking about that section where you got to get the downside of it and triple out. Do you look at something like that and go, I know I can do that on my 250?
I do. Like every single time after my practice, the A 450 practice is up next, so I definitely go and watch them, the big names. I've always been a fan of Ryan Dungey. He's an unbelievable rider, so I watch his lines. He's so smooth and knows where to go. So I definitely watch him everywhere he goes and try to mimic what he does.
Daniel picked up on a line that Trey Kennard was doing after the Monster Energy finish line. A lot of you guys are going to the inside, you're coming out of that corner, you're grabbing a handful throttle, rear wheels breaking loose. Trey ran it up deep, squared off, and had all the tires straight on the line when he went up. Are you going to try that?
Yeah, that is definitely a tricky spot here because right there is super slick. If you see right after this finish line, the corner after it's just unbelievably sick and slick. And one practice I actually almost did a 180 because it was so slick. And you got to get your tires straight and not just hammer the throttle. You got to like slowly get on it to get the momentum.
Let's talk about Florida State again. What are you studying there? Are you studying something because you have a long-term game plan, or where are you at in your scholastics?
So I'm a junior right now, and I am studying IT. So computer nerd. Both my parents are IT workers, one at FedEx, one at AT&T. So they didn't push me into it. They told me I could do whatever I want, but I started liking coding. I'm working on Java and C++, and I really like it.
Jim just learned to text.
Yeah.
Just working on that.
I just got an iPhone. I borrowed it from my son.
You just upgraded from the flip phone?
Yeah, it was one of his old ones. Yeah, I had a flip phone. I'm honest to say that, you know. I felt bad when I went and talked to him in the pits. I said, hey, is that anywhere close to the Gators? He says, oh, Gators. That's
Can't be
That's
saying
the
that.
enemy.
Seminoles. But yeah, IT is where I want to go. My dream is for like next year, because once I'm done with college, I want to keep racing. The awesome thing, I could get like a job out west, maybe like Cowie or Yamaha, because I'm on Yamaha, I want to get Yamaha, and then work during the week and then do West Supercross in the weekend.
So looking long term to make the transition from school to work. As far as Detroit goes, what are your goals? The 17th a week ago, you've been getting in the main zone. I know you want more. You want to grab the attention of the factory teams. Tonight in Detroit, what do you want?
I want to get that top 10. I mean, I know it's long from where I got, but first I got to do that top 15, but if I'm in that top 15, I know I can push. Because in Daytona, I was right there with that group. I just know I got to keep my intensity up that whole entire 15 minutes, and hopefully I can get in there.
But see, that's what I like about you. You know, you're not setting a goal that's not going to be achieved. You set it yourself. I want to be in that top 15, but if I'm in that top 15, I know I can get myself into that top. It's not like you're saying, hey, I want a top 5 tonight, or I want a top 3. You know that it's going to take a little work to get to that point. So it's one thing at a time.
Exactly. You can't push, like if you're 15th, you can't be like, oh, my goal this week is 3rd. So you got to slowly progress. That's what my whole thing is. I love like just slowly getting there. Right now I'm in school and I can like slowly get there. Maybe like once I'm out of school, I can focus on motocross only and to hopefully get a good ride and everything. But I got a good program right now with EBR, TXS, and MX Culture, and Sandbox teams. They're helping me out this year, and hopefully the next year I can get even better and better in the top 10 every weekend. Then the next year, maybe top 5 every weekend. Just slowly progress.
Well, Josh, I'm very proud of what you've accomplished so far this year and in your career. We wish you the best of luck tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on Race Day Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.